Hey, it's Chris, and we're inside Studio J, presented by Come Here NC, and I have Amber from the Japanese House. Amber, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
It is an exciting day because yesterday you put out a new single.
I did indeed. Smiley Face.
Yes. Tell us about the new song.
It's a song that I wrote when I was talking to someone off an app, and I'd kind of fallen in love with them, or at least the idea of them.
Yeah.
Over the internet, I guess. And they lived in Detroit and I was living in London, so I was just on their time frame. I'd be on the phone to them for 10 hours a day, and I'd go to sleep when they go to sleep and then wake up my time.
Oh my God.
And I went into a session and I was sort of just crazed, lack of sleep, but this song kind of came out of me, and it's about kind of fantasizing about meeting them in real life. And then I did meet them in real life. I got flights, and then I ended up moving to Detroit, and now I'm engaged to them. So it's kind of prophetic.
In what span of time?
Within a year and a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quick.
It was quick.
Well,
but this is the lesbian way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that. Does this mean we have a new album coming soon too?
Yeah, I'm working on that now. I've written quite a lot of it. But I'm definitely I don't know, so a lot of the time when I finish an album or when I've met someone or whatever, I have a long break and I can't really harness that energy into putting it into something creative. I just usually put it into that person, or I don't know. But this time I've really channeled it into writing a lot. So I'm a lot further ahead than I've ever been in terms of how far I am with this record, having only, I guess I released the other record over a year ago now.
A year ago, right?
Yeah.
Do you write on the road?
Very rarely. I find it, I write a lot of music on the road, but lyrically I find it quite difficult to write on the road because I'm rarely alone.
Yeah.
And if I'm alone, I'm in some weird hotel room like I was today, where it definitely didn't feel like writing, or I'm on the bus where it's an engine's buzzing through. It sounds like you're in a NutriBullet. So I feel like I struggle with that, but I write little ideas, notes and things like that when things take my
It sounds like
attention.
then the space you're in really contributes to your ability to write.
Definitely, yeah. I have to feel completely alone in order to write lyrics. I can't, unless I'm doing sort of more poppy writing, and I'm doing a middle eight and it's then it feels more to me like word maths. But the initial catalyst for a song, or the initial idea for a song, usually revolves around a sentiment or an idea, emotional idea, and that to harness that and come up with new things, or kind of, I guess, look inwardly at what I'm feeling, I have to be completely solo.
Yeah. Do you write the music first or lyrics first?
Either way, really, and a lot of the time it's simultaneous. I'll have I'll have little snippets of lyrical ideas, and I have little snippets of musical ideas, and sometimes I bring those together. But usually when I'm writing the song, I'm sort of making changes to the lyrics to fold around the music, and I'm also then altering the music to fit in with the lyrics, and it kind of is like a symbiotic relationship between those two things.
When you started in music, however age that was, were you writing first or playing first? How did it all begin for you, I guess? How did you start your musical journey?
I was playing guitar first. I remember when I wrote my first song, I was probably about, 5. It was about a chair. And I'd learned chords. I'd asked my dad to teach me some chords. And then as soon as I learned a chord sequence, I wrote a song. So it was pretty similar timing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, was I writing poems before that? I can't remember. But no, I think probably the music, I would learn different chords so I could write songs. I was never really interested in doing covers, or I just wanted to do my own thing.
Your own stuff from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How old were you when you first got on stage and had to perform?
Well, I perform in front of my parents or whatever for when I was very young.
Yeah.
And I think I was one of those kids that I progressed really quickly, so I was probably quite impressive as a 6-year-old playing guitar or piano. But then because I never did lessons or whatever, the bell curve kind of it evened out. So by the time I was like a teenager, I was probably like not very impressive at all at piano or guitar.
Did you know at that age as a teenager that you wanted to have a career in music?
I knew for like my whole life that I would, because I think it's the thing that I got praised the most for. I remember when I was in year 2, which is that grade 2? I don't ever know what it is, but it's about 7 years old. I got picked to be like the lead part in a school play, and I was really confused. I was like, why me? And then they were like, oh, because you're really good at singing and music. And I was like, okay, cool. And then from that moment on, I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do then.
Yeah.
And like I always, I know I like was going to go to university, but I just knew I wasn't really.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was going to be doing this in one way or another, and like I was kind of open to any way in which I was doing it. And that's why I think.
Yeah. Well, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you
I'm just extremely lucky, I think, is probably the main thing.
Are you surprised by your success? Did you see yourself being where you are today, back then when you were 7?
I mean, it's good to like think about your reaction. But when I was 7, if I'd played in front of a room of 100 people, I would have been surprised by my success, you know? I think your goalposts move as you grow. And so I still don't really feel like I'm successful, because I feel like the word successful puts like a full stop on something.
Right.
Oh, okay, I've done it. Like I still feel like but then I know I can take a step back and feel lucky and appreciate, but it's like I think all artists feel like they're scrambling and never quite feel like they're at the point that they want to be, because as soon as you grow, your goals change. So I just kind of try to feel more accepting of where I am and like happy with where I am, and ignore what is successful or what's not, and just ask the question if I'm happy, and I am.
Yeah, the gap between more and enough never closes. And
exactly.
So as soon as you take that next step, there's something else that you've got your sights on, which is good. It keeps us all driven and focused
keeps us moving.
Yeah, it's good.
But it is, it's even, I've got a lot of friends that are far bigger artists, like more well-known artists than I am, and they probably, I don't know if they feel that differently. You know, or even like Taylor Swift, like trying to at this point she's fighting against herself. Do you know what I mean? Like what was it? She is trying to get consecutive #1s in the UK, so she just like dropped another made up deluxe album so that she could like beat her own record. It's like, get over it. But I think that's the cycle I just don't want to get into. Like, even when you are the most successful artist in the world, you still won't feel like you've done it. You can't relax. And I'm just like, I'm actually going to skip that stage and just be happy with what I am now, which is like, like a happy person with enjoying what I do and with still enough motivation to keep moving forward.
I'm a big fan of the 1975 and was watching, I forget what video it was. I wrote it down. It's Not Living. Oh, and I saw you in the band in the back playing bass or keys or something.
Guitar,
in the video, and I just wondered, talk a little bit about your connection with that band, because I think there's some long history there. Yeah,
I mean, there's enough history that every single interview I'm ever in, I get asked about them, which is annoying. But
we'll skip it. You want to skip it?
Yeah, okay.
We'll skip it. Let's talk about venues, because you played here last fall. You played at Cat's Cradle, and then which is a real small room. You played
Love Cat's Cradle.
Bonnaroo. You've played. I think I saw you at Coachella, and then you're here tonight at one of our larger outdoor venues. And I wonder how the venue, or how you approach performing and doing shows based on the size of the space you're going to be in, and then maybe what impact that venue has or that size has on the show.
It's hard, isn't it? Because bigger venues, obviously, it's just a different feeling. It's like standing in front of the sea, rather than standing in front of like a gorgeous little pond. Yeah, and it's like you have so much more control over the audience in a way when you're playing a smaller venue, but they also have more control over you. So if you get a bad reaction, like, I don't know, if it's like a Monday night and everyone's, I don't know, not in the mood or whatever, or like the lights are crap, or like something is off, then their energy affects you so much more and you have a worse show. But if you're playing a big venue, it's harder to infect them in a sense, but it's also easier to sort of like be like, oh, we're just playing a show, and can connect with your band more. And it's so different, and I never know, because that's the thing as well, isn't it? Like, you tell yourself, oh, the bigger the show, the better, because that means you're getting bigger and you associate with all these things. But actually, like, a lot of artists I know are like, oh, I hate playing arenas. And I'm like, I can't relate to that right now, but I'm sure maybe one day, if I'm lucky, I'll be banging on about how boring it is to play arenas.
Do you have a preference then? Do you prefer the smaller shows?
I don't know. I think I really am enjoying like playing the bigger shows of the ones I'm doing right now. Like, we're doing the Greek, for example, in LA. I think that's going to be incredible because it's such like I don't know. It's such a venue that I know so well, and I've seen so many people at that I can't quite believe I'm playing it. So yeah, I think, but it's still pre-arena, isn't it? That's not an arena.
Yeah, it's not an arena.
It's so it's like, I think this level is, I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in. It's
Thank
great
you
to
so
meet
much for having me.
And I appreciate your time, Amber. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.